Hello, good Tuesday afternoon, good cold Tuesday afternoon, and welcome again to our 26th episode of Power to the People. Oh man, I'm so glad for you guys to join us on today. I've actually missed you last week. I had my twin to stand in for me. She did such a fabulous job. I tried to give her the show, but she still won't take it. But I want to commend her on the job. Well done. So you're gonna have to deal with this mug today. I'm not as beautiful as she is, and we're gonna go ahead and jump in here. I'm excited about the guest that we have on today to talk about living single in a pandemic. Now, the thing is that we've been talking about pandemics for a little while now, last 3, 4 weeks. And before we end season one, we're going to talk about different areas of the pandemic um, that we're dealing with all the way up through, I think, the inauguration. I think we're scheduled up through the inauguration. We're going to take a couple of weeks or a month off, and then we're going to come back, reload, and come back and bring you some more good content. I want to thank you for your followership. We're in Sherrall, South Carolina, and we're located about 90 miles from Myrtle Beach east. It's Myrtle Beach, and then back across west is Charlotte, about 75 miles. Uh, and 7 miles from the studio right here, 7 miles from the North Carolina line. But if I was broadcasting from my home, my backyard is on the North Carolina line. But we're grateful for all of you that have been following us and tuning in and viewing all across the country. So we are grateful for you. We only have about 5,000 here in Charlotte population, but you have made the difference in us continuing to bring good content. Now we don't have your Hollywood stars, we don't have none of the housewives and all that, but we're just trying to do our very best to be informative, empower you as much as we possibly can with the great guests that we have. So without further delay, I just want to holler at some people while you're going ahead and sharing. My mom, my godmom, Sister George and Reverend George, hello to you guys. God bless you. Y'all stay warm. Y'all stay warm. And all the way from California, our minister, internet minister actually, Miss Sheila Feldner. I just gave her a title that I was going to talk to you about later on, but she is our e-church member, and so she's very faithful to us. And First Lady White, she's in the house today, and she's normally our engineer. I am training Natasha a little bit on being an engineer slash producer. So if there's any errors that may pop up, uh, uh, it'd be light on her. She'll blame it on me anyway. Okay. All right. So if you got any singles, you got any children, go ahead and tag them in this broadcast, this video. So especially if they're away in college or most of them not on Facebook, but we have YouTube. We got YouTube live. We also have uh, not Twitch, but Twitter. Twitter live. Who else we got up here? And we have 5 Facebook pages, groups, and so some kind of way get the word out to them. And our actual website. Our website is GoodmanCreekLive.com. GoodmanCreekLive.com. So you have several means and platforms that you can get this rich uh, broadcast out to them. All right, I'm gonna bring up our guest. So without further ado, first I have Rachel. Miss Rachel is from. I'll let her tell you where she's from. I won't say Miss Rachel. Um, Miss Rachel is a dear friend, and she has a platform that we're going to talk about before. Well, you can go ahead and tell us about it, Miss Rachel, and I can pull up your logo. Tell us where you're from, and
Okay.
about your.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rachel Melton, and I am from the big small town of Morven, North Carolina. The platform that Dr. White was talking about is that God gave me a vision, and my vision is called Her Blackness. And the vision is where I celebrate and uplift Black women of the Anson County area. But I also have a Her Blackness Facebook page, and that page is dedicated to Black women. Where if you want me to showcase you, tell your story, Her Blackness would love to be the vehicle that carry your story to the world. And we uplift, encourage, and empower other Black women. And
All right.
also, I am a Mary Kay consultant. So you can look me up on www.marykay.com/or Melton and the number two. And you can also go to Her Blackness website. That is www.herblackness.com. Go and check it out.
All right. We'll bring you back to announce those things again
Okay.
at the end for those that would be tuning in a little later. So let us bring in our second guest, Mr. Nico. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good, good. Tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from, man.
Yeah, I'm from Greenwood, South Carolina. I've been in the Greenville area since about 2004. Currently studio manager of Mayweather Boxing Fitness on Woodruff Road. I've been into Muay Thai, martial arts. I've been in the fitness industry about a decade total. I've been in Muay Thai kickboxing competing I've been training for about 4 or 5 years, and I've been competing like two years. So
Okay, all right.
yeah.
That's with Nico Lethal. And
I also just started a marketing company called Global Impact Marketing.
okay,
So yeah, definitely. Just really in the pre-stages of in the beginning stages of starting this company. So I'm definitely looking to connect and help anybody with any marketing needs you may have with your business. So
okay, good, good. And we'll bring when we end, we're gonna go back through that so people that tune in later on will be able to hear about that. All right,
definitely.
thank you. All right, we'll bring up Miss Juanita. Miss Juanita, thank you for going through the changes and adjustments to get here to be with us on today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you from?
Absolutely. My name is Juanita Hopkins. Born in Brooklyn, New York. Lived in Florida, kind of grew up there in South Florida, and I moved to Greenville 4 years ago. I love it here, and I'm currently the vice president of Urban League of, excuse me, Urban League of the Upstate YPs, the Young Professionals, and I work in law.
Okay, all right. You work in law.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Good, good. Well, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and bust out the first questions. And like I told them, I'm unfortunate my backdrop is a sanctuary. Not unfortunately, but I don't. I want us to just be transparent, be real. Don't worry about nothing. There's been so many sins and stuff forgiven in this house, and that's what we do. We just keep it
Praise,
real.
praise.
So just keep it real, and we won't talk about too much of Rachel's uh, personal life as much as
You didn't have to do it
hey,
like
if we did
that.
that, all of
If
us
he
would
don't
be
stop
removed.
calling me out.
I'm playing with
That's just
Rachel.
hang on. I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Rachel,
for
I
that to
got your
happen.
back.
But
I
If he
got
don't
your
start
back.
calling me out, we're gonna set that sanctuary on fire.
yes, you will now. I know. That's why I'm trying to warn people. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Blood will take care of it. Okay. So let's go to our first question here. Our first question: what is the biggest challenge of being single during COVID? Um, Social distancing, quarantining, and all the lockdown. Uh, so what's been the biggest challenge that you guys have faced? We'll say Rachel for last because she'll burn this question down. So let's go with one Nita.
Put me on the spot.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Okay.
you've made
So,
some adjustments, I'm sure, right? Because let me say this one, Nita. Let me say this. Somebody suggested that, hey, I was single before the pandemic. I'm still single. So I'm like, hey, ain't nothing changed. Some stuff done changed. And I'm married and stuff had to change. We started checking each other when it first started. We looked at each other cross-eyed when we come in the house. Where you been? No, where you been? So even though it's a little different, what are your challenges?
So I think the biggest challenge is the loneliness, if I'm going to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I live in Greenville by myself. My family still lives in Florida. And so it got really bad about July. And I got on an airplane in the middle of COVID. I had to go see my family. Wow. And so I think with loneliness, people tend to take more risks. And so, you know, being single, you have to choose the healthy risk. Okay. You know, you don't want to do anything out of desperation. Mm-hmm. I'm not about to get myself caught up in no foolishness. So I bought a plane ticket and I went home and saw my nephews, my brother and my sister. We had a fabulous time. And then I got home and didn't have anyone around. And that's when the loneliness really set in. And so I got a dog.
Hey, high five. Give me a high five right there. But you actually spoke the same question I was going to ask. Did that help you when you went home? And then what did that do after having that contact and then coming back?
It was horrible. It was,
yeah.
I mean, if I wasn't depressed before, you know, but before I went home to see my family, like I felt like, all right, this is not, fam, this is not for me. And then I went home and saw my family, and it really hit when I got back home. And it was silent. There was no one to laugh with, nobody to hug. My brother and sister and I were very, very close. Mm-hmm. And so not to have that physical touch anymore. My nephews were all up underneath me. And so I was like, okay, I could do something reckless. I could. You know, it's not easy. You know, it's not hard not to do something reckless. You always have that choice.
Right.
But I went and got a dog.
Okay, well, good.
I did the least reckless thing I could.
All right, Nico, what you do? What are you doing for us making this adjustment in the single life out there?
Well, for me, it's a little bit different. I mean, I'm not married, but I am in a relationship, so it hasn't been like I haven't been like the lonely or anything like that. I guess the major change for me is just, I mean, the social, interacting socially with other people, hasn't, we haven't been able to do that, I guess, to the same degree. So that makes it a little bit more challenging. And then I guess speaking from personal experience, we actually did get COVID at one point in time. I think it was should have been about maybe 2.5, maybe 3 months ago. We actually did. Yeah, we actually did.
Got infected, you say?
Yeah.
Okay. You said we or you?
Me and my girlfriend. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So I mean, it was bad, of course, that we got sick, but I guess it was good also because we ended up having a quarantine together. Which aspects of that was good, but then we were also getting stir crazy at the same time, being stuck in the house, with just each other. So, it was definitely a challenge, needless to say.
So y'all got diagnosed at the same time?
Yeah, well, see, I got sick from coworkers at the gym. I was actually at another gym prior to Mayweather gym, and actually got sick there. And apparently, I mean, I had already been in contact with her, so it was fairly easy for her to get sick too.
Okay, all right. Well, Rachel, you've been in the gym, have you?
No.
I ain't doing that.
No, sir.
Challenge for you.
Well, for me, I mean, I'm single, not dating, no nothing. I'm single. I'm whole single.
Okay.
But the biggest challenge for me was before the pandemic hit. Me and a couple of friend girls and with my cousins, we started to go out. Just to go out having girls' night. So once the pandemic hit, that was no more. So that was the biggest challenge for me, just not being able to go out and about anymore.
Okay.
And then, I'm just here, with just work, and then home here, looking in my youngest son's face, no.
Well,
So
how has it affected you? Has it made it a little bad?
yeah, because I was really enjoying it, getting out and about, because I don't I wasn't the type to go out and hang out, but then once I started getting with my girlfriends, we going and we hanging out, we enjoying each other, just having a nice time, and then it just came to a halt. So just being here, yeah, make you feel down, make you feel lonely, depression could sit in. So yeah, you're just not out and about anymore.
Okay, like Juanita got a dog. What did you do? Because if you still going through depression, Sister White and I need to come see you.
Say that again.
What did you do? What did you
What did I do? What did I do?
What do you do to not fall into depression? See, so
I really got into my Mary Kay, getting creative with my Mary Kay, and also with her blackness. So that was my go-to.
okay, gotcha.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad to hear that, Miss Rachel. All right. So second is, what part of long distance relationship have you struggled with the most during this time, during social distance? What part of long distance? Well, anybody in the whole single meaning you're not in a relationship, right, Miss Rachel? Okay. So Ms. Hoskins, you not still right now, presently not in.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's do this. Would y'all be willing? Anybody listening out there, these beautiful young ladies, would you be willing to have a long distance relationship given the pandemic and quarantining and stuff?
Well, I'm in a long distance relationship with Christ Jesus.
Woo!
That's what I got.
I'm sorry.
I don't
Watch
know
Larry.
what parts of COVID.
I know. All right.
2021.
Yeah.
Okay, but all jokes aside, okay, so Dr. White, all jokes aside, right? All
Okay.
jokes aside, God moves in mysterious ways.
Mm-hmm.
And so if something happened, I don't know,
Right.
drop somebody out the sky, my Boaz is right there.
Right. Right.
I believe in discernment, and he would lead me and guide me to do the right thing.
That's all right. Now, okay, angels are floating around right now. So in the sanctuary. Now, Miss Rachel, you can turn this upside down if you want to, but what what I forgot what the question was.
Let me pull my chair up closer.
What part would you accept a long distance relationship in this pandemic?
Off the top of my head, I probably wouldn't. And the reason being because it's long distance. So I probably would not.
But wouldn't it be okay? Wouldn't it still be it could be short distance, but you're still going to be quarantining, so you won't have that much contact. So,
but not planning on quarantining forever. But
okay, all right, yeah.
well, I don't know which one, because you said long distance, then you changed it to short.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I'm trying to trap you, but you got out of that. You got out of it. You said you don't long distance for. I mean, we're not going to be in this forever. So you're right.
I
I
mean,
got
you have to think about it. If you're if you try to get into a relationship, but aren't there things that kind of need to happen so you can get to know each other? And it's more than just about being over the phone, right? You've got to figure out if you even mesh well with this other human.
mm-hmm.
You know, you can't do that over FaceTime or over the phone. Sometimes you got to look somebody in their face and have a conversation.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. For you want to have that, like that old school boy meet girl type of stuff,
See, Rachel,
And
we on
then,
the same.
and
I
then
got you.
for me to want to have that, how do you get into that? Okay, now we're gonna do FaceTime. To say we're gonna FaceTime, so I'm gonna have to give you my personal number. So I mean, it just for me that just went jail.
It went jail. Okay. Yolanda, I think I know Yolanda. You know Yolanda there,
You know what?
Nico? Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. He said Nico.
Go ahead, Rachel. Go get off your chest.
He said Nico. But I was going to say about that Yolanda Sanders.
Uh-oh.
I've been talking a lot to her during this quarantine period, and that may have something to do with me for not adjusting too well with this single in a pandemic.
Oh, okay. I know Yolanda.
Oh, okay.
It just hit me. I'm not used to the Sanders. So she's married. She's been talking to you and telling you all that good stuff, huh? I'm gonna watch out. That I am gonna watch out. I need both of y'all on me today. Nico, from a male's perspective of being single, and not to get you in trouble or anything, but would
Nah,
that be an interest if you were not didn't have a partner or a single male?
nah, man. I've never really been with the long distance idea anyway. It's just don't work for me. I'm a very intimate. I'm a very, up close personal type of person. So like the distance, it just will kind of eventually dissolve whatever, connection is there. I mean, if it's a short distance, a drivable distance, it's a little bit different. Something that's not too far out of the way, but if it's somewhere I'm gonna have to drive 6-8 hours to all the time or fly to, it's
Catch
just
a plane.
yeah, it's
Mhm.
nah, I don't see that working. Not for me in general. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It just doesn't work for me.
Right,
Right.
right. Because
Okay.
it's challenging enough being short distance
Yeah.
and long
That whole
distance.
entire part.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's an additional strange to the relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so that adds to the difficulties of the pandemic and being single. Actually, if it's already that standard that the three of you guys already have of long distance almost being out, unless like Juanita said, unless something drops. But
Out of heaven.
huh?
Out of heaven.
Out of heaven,
Out
yes,
of heaven.
yes, yes. Okay. All right, let's go to our third lesson. Rachel, you didn't mention Jesus about your boyfriend or nothing like that. Can't believe that.
Jesus ain't my boyfriend.
Okay.
Jesus ain't interested in being my boyfriend.
Okay, all right. I asked you that. I asked I don't need to get up motor started yet. Wait.
Jesus said,
Let's see if we can get down. We got about 10 questions. Let me see if we can make it there. All right. Third, even with the asymptomatic infection, do you think we need to get tested before masks come off for intimacy? So even though Rachel Juanita may not have a partner right now, that's something that you got to give thought to, though. So let's give us some thought tonight. Then, if you had given, does the mask come off? I mean, you already said you didn't want it to be long distance. So, Juanita,
Juanita's face.
how we gonna do this?
I
What's your
don't think I
plan?
can answer that question.
Huh?
I don't think I have the no. I'm gonna cuss. I don't think. Wait a second. Huh?
Yeah, you got to think about this before it
No,
happens.
I don't have to think about it. I'm trying to
No,
figure out what's going on. Like, okay, define intimacy. That's really what's on my mind because
Nico,
hell,
define
y'all ask
intimacy for
Rachel.
me.
Nico said I'm pulling in.
Now,
I was
What?
laughing at that question when I read it.
Yeah,
well, you
Nico.
know, what you-
Nico. Who thought of the question, Nico?
I thought that was a funny question.
All the way. What
it is
what
not.
are you
Are
what are
people
you
really having that conversation? Like, hey,
Yes, really. That's
what
why I
you
want to
talking
change the
intimacy?
background. That's why I want to change the background. Intimacy is just intimate. You ain't got to be sex. Don't have to be kissing. It could be because more than likely, if you guys meet somebody, are you working from home, Juanita? Juanita, you all right?
No,
Are you working from
you know,
home, Juanita?
when you said okay, no kissing, I was like, you can't kiss with a mask
Well, that's what I'm saying. Though. You got to know. Let me. I ain't gonna say school y'all. But let me know. Let me tell you something. You don't want no guy, Rachel. You don't want nobody to sneak up on you,
on.
and you're not prepared.
I
See, with when I was younger, about
Uh-huh.
Nico's age, that
Uh-huh.
our game plan is to catch you off your game, right, Nico? Oh, Nico ain't gonna.
huh?
Nico,
Nico, you tell let him drag you into this.
he got the whole
If
knowledge.
he out for the game and do
Nobody
what?
know.
Nico, go ahead and give everybody the free game.
Who's saying hard?
Hey,
Wait a minute,
hey, game is sold, not told.
What?
Ain't that
Nico,
free?
how you what?
Miss
Okay,
Crawford.
I'm lost.
Okay, look.
Find me, I'm lost.
Okay, it's forehead. Okay. Let me back up. Miss Crawford, you don't understand what I'm saying? Okay, look, intimacy just can range from what you guys are talking about now. You don't want a long distance, you want an intimate distance, meaning that you want to be able to see them. And more than likely, at this time, especially, I'll be honest with you, during this December and January, more than likely you're going to meet people. If you meet somebody, it's going to be online. So at the point that you begin to talk, have conversations, and prepare to meet each other, how will you guys do that? How will you? When does the mask come off? Nico, does your partner live with you?
No.
So when y'all see each other, how? Well, I don't know if that'd be a good example because y'all probably so used to each other. But if y'all go a
Yeah,
couple of days,
I
the
mean,
mask.
I'm not really. I'm not. I mean, like we already kind of went through it together. For one, for two, I mean, it's not practical. I don't think just like wearing a mask unless I mean it's just a whole lot around it. If we're gonna, I don't see like two people just sitting on the couch watching Netflix with masks on. I just
Right.
and then at some point in time, especially if you're intimate or close, I mean you're gonna just assume whatever comes along with it, versus wearing a mask. I mean, most people, nobody really wants to wear them in general. So, I mean, I don't see them, see me wearing it in the privacy of our own home or when we're together. It's just, yeah, it just kind of it creates a divide already between you and complete strangers and people that you don't know, just the world in general. So, I mean, two people that you're trying to connect with, I think it kind of, creates
Okay.
more of a divide.
Thank you, Nico. You had me thinking I sounded like from another planet. Let me help Rachel out, though. Let me do Rachel like this. Knock. Rachel,
Yes, sir.
I'm coming to visit you today. Let me in.
Mm-mm.
Wait a minute. But we've been talking.
Mm-mm.
So,
Go ahead.
so we've been talking, and now I'm
Okay.
coming to your house to visit you. So you opened the door, I assume. You gave me the okay to come over. So,
I told you it was okay to come over.
yes, would you do that? Or would you go to them?
No, I wouldn't know for as us for as you coming to my house.
Yeah. For your the person that you just met,
Mm-hmm.
and
I just met him.
well, when would you be comfortable with him coming over, Rachel? Come on now.
I don't know with it being what it is in this pandemic to say to
Yeah.
come over to my house, I probably would feel more better, because I have, my son live here too with me. And so I probably would feel better to go out to meeting somewhere out than coming
So,
here.
all right. So when y'all go out, does the mask come off?
Now if we eating, yeah. And we pretty much gonna be sitting down eating. So yeah, the mask will come off.
Ooh, she trying to say holy as I don't know what. Now I tell you what, Miss Juanita,
Yes,
can you be real with me?
of course.
All right, you've been talking about 2 months, and this young man want to see you now.
Hmm.
At least come to your house, or you come to their house. Will the mask come off, or does the mask have to stay on?
2 months is not long enough for me to invite someone to my home. Um,
You sure enough
you
old
know,
school. You do love Jesus,
I
don't
don't have like I like to do. I like. It's just me. I like to do fun things. So honestly, if this is the case and we're going out,
you? Mhm.
I'd like to go to the gun range.
That's a good date. Hey,
You
that's
know,
a good date.
I would. I'd like to go axe throwing. You know, I
You
would
know,
like
for
to
some
really.
reason, we just met, but for some reason, I wouldn't expect less from you from that. So, would the mask come off at the gun range?
No, because you have to wear it.
Okay.
Yeah,
See,
and you
that's
don't need. I mean, when you're in the gun range, we really don't need to communicate. I'm looking
right.
at how you're shooting. You're looking at how I'm shooting, and I've gotten really good at headshots. And typically, people who watch me shoot are quiet.
Let's go to the next question. Number
Okay.
four.
That sounds dangerous.
I mean, we're in an appropriate setting,
Yeah.
and I bring what I have, and it's legal, and I can carry, and all of that
We
stuff. So
got that. Yeah.
I come with my stuff. I hope that person would come with their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
More than one stuff.
Because you
I
got
come
the
with
act.
more than one stuff.
But you
Yeah,
got.
we gonna have some fun, right? And then after that's over with, if
It's,
you can hang, we can
right.
go out. Then the mask
Okay.
might be able to come off. If I know that if something pop off, this person can protect me better than I can
Right.
protect myself, I'm
Right.
okay with the mask coming off.
Man. Okay. Military
I
babies
think
I got
that's
out there,
fair.
Navy,
I think
Army.
that's fair.
Yeah.
So the
All right.
mask comes off if they can shoot better than you.
Basically, I think that's fair.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool beans. That's
Too
what I'm saying.
funny.
That's hilarious.
That's too funny.
Scary, isn't
It's
it?
funny because it's true.
Okay. All right. We got you.
You got your standards.
Has meeting people online become more of an idea for you in this pandemic? Since yeah, we'll stay in Juanita's vein if she would just go ahead and respond to that.
I've never tried online dating.
Me neither.
No.
It's not something that ever appealed to me. I've had my friends like ask, "Hey, you should get on Tinder."
Yeah.
And it's something with some. What's the B? The one that begins with a B. Buzzer, something. But it just wasn't something that I was interested in.
Oh, you talking about Bumble? Yeah.
Bumble, thank
Yeah,
you. Ooh,
Bumble,
I
yeah.
look so okay. Listen,
Nicole.
Facebook family, I promise I got a brain, but I just did not know. Thank you, Nico.
You don't have to answer that one, but this is out there. But I mean, you got at the end of the day, after the show is over, you got somebody else. Never mind. Rachel, why you looking at me like that? I was concerned about Nico.
Oh,
Because
sorry, my bad. Go ahead. Ooh,
Nico,
No,
I didn't
I
realize.
know what you're talking about.
well, Nico just put it out there of this single site, and he not whole single like you.
Yeah,
He,
And so I
he,
was
he
concerned.
knew the site, what she was talking about.
yeah. Bumble been around for a little while, man. I never really was. I mean, even like before a relationship, I never really was like online. Like I said, man, I'm a kind of a upfront, face to face type person, man. So, I mean, I would be lying if I said I never like downloaded the app, went through, swiped through, but it was just kind of boring. It just really didn't necessarily, work for me, And then a lot of the people you see on there, you just kind of know them anyway. It's just like, oh man, I know this fool, It's just like, yeah. So it's it just never did appeal to me, the online thing.
Okay. Miss Rachel, you say you wouldn't be interested in that type of deal. Even if you had, even if you can shoot real good, still wouldn't be interested. Okay, Rachel, we'll go to the next one. All right. How should we transition from virtual only to outdoor dates? And I think Miss Anita covered that too. Yeah, for her. Yeah. Now, if you were to have somebody, uh, Rachel, from being on virtual, not that you met them on virtual, but you know them and now y'all just been keeping up with each other. Y'all probably met. Um, where do you go during this? You work out. You work though, right?
Work out?
Not
No,
work
I
out.
don't work out.
What do you do? What's your activities during the day?
I work.
Okay, so you while you're out, you meet somebody, and
Okay.
y'all talking virtually because you're not going to invite them over just yet, or you're not going to go. So, what at what point would you decide to go to outdoor date?
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know for a time limit. I don't know.
okay, all right. I'm gonna let you off the hook there, Rachel. Um, let's go to the sixth question here.
Okay.
All right, you have a partner. Any of your close contacts have pre-existing conditions like health issues and risks. Um, so you have to kind of scale back on the type of activity that you would do. You know that this person perhaps have diabetes or something. If they're black, um, you know that we are more to succumb to the virus. So you know this person has these type of uh, I don't want to say diseases or pre-existing health conditions. What type of activity would you do? Because if they get COVID, at this, it'd be difficult for them to recover. Uh, I guess being at the range would that would be limited to the people that you would be in contact with, right?
That that is true. I actually have a friend who has type 1 diabetes.
Mhm.
Um, she's just a few years older than I am, and when I consider what she's going through, she goes to work every day. She does not take her mask off. She's also a single female. And, I kind of think about her when I engage in any activity because I would hate for her to get sick because someone wanted to be selfish, right? Like, I
Right.
don't have any pre existing health conditions. I know that people don't want to wear masks anyway, but I have friends who are nurses in level 3 trauma units that
Mhm.
are literally putting their lives on the line to keep people safe who don't want to wear masks. I have a friend who she happens to be married. She goes into her garage. strips off all her clothes, tells the kids they can't come out, and douses herself in Lysol, goes upstairs, take a shower, wash the shower out, and her husband is a firefighter. Who am I to be so selfish? You know what I'm saying? Like, I do understand that being lonely and being single, I know that it's rough, but it's also rough being dead.
So
Right.
would that be a prerequisite for you deciding whether or not, because this, I'll be honest, this can go on throughout the rest of the, not just this year, but 2021.
Or
Um,
2022.
yeah, yeah. So would that be a prerequisite cursor, a measure before you decide to date someone? Because you know that if they go to the gun range and they probably just dying to go with you, um, that it will
Unintended.
take them out.
Okay,
That
so
was no pun intended, dying to go with you. Okay,
so
yeah.
so I think the larger picture that we're talking about here is
Mhm.
trust, right? Have you had enough conversations with this person over the phone, over FaceTime, however you've chosen to do it? Has this man or woman been creative with how they want to talk to you? Whether, they pull up and sit outside your window and y'all just talk outside the window for a little bit. Or
Mhm.
he comes over or she goes over and you guys are sitting on opposite ends of the porch or out on the lawn or something like that. I think that trust is what the overlying conversation is here.
Okay.
Um, and so, if you are engaged in conversation every day with someone for 2, 3 months, you will naturally, I believe, want to have that face to face. So, I would just like that person to consider that there are people fighting for their lives, that there are people. I would just want someone who was considerate. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Mhm.
right.
Someone who I know is not obviously selfish. I just say,
Mhm.
oh, I'm not gonna wear this. Like, I don't need to wear this. I'm healthy. Whoop whoop whoop. And it's like, all right, fam. Like, I got you. I see that you're healthy, but all it takes is
Right,
one fart in the wind, and
right,
you're
right,
over with.
right. Or
So
a shot.
I
Yeah.
would just
Uh,
like to be with somebody who is going to be, careful, cautious, respectful of other people's conditions. Just somebody with a good heart. You know what I'm
all
saying?
right. Nicole, all right. Nicole, would, if you were single, would that be, and it may be in your present relationship, is there a concern that you guys, perhaps your partner has a pre-existing condition?
Well, kind of like Juanita said, I think the most important thing is just being considerate of, the other person and, the potential of what could happen, because I mean, it's a lot of debate and there's a lot of argument, but one thing that you can't debate or argue that there have been like quite a few people that have, gotten extremely sick or died from, coming in contact with it. So, I mean, it's definitely something that you would want to be considerate of, when Juanita was saying like, oh man, pull up and talk to him outside of a window or something like that, have a conversation or something like that, or whoever said that. I guess initially my thoughts would be like, oh man, I'm not doing that. But if it was a significant other and that's what had to be done, then that's just what you have to do, giving in consideration of them.
Okay. Rachel, would you date someone if this goes on 21 to 2022? Would that be one of the things that they could not have because your activity would have to be kind of low because of if they got infected out there?
Oh yes, I mean if I had a partner and they had
Well,
pre-existing,
well, if
um,
you decided to make that person a partner, would you
uh-huh.
make a decision based on the fact that they have these pre-existing conditions? Would that weigh on you whether or not you would want to date them?
Oh no,
Okay.
no.
So even though that will cut back or need to be cut back on your activity, outdoor activity, because they have these conditions, that would be fine with you?
No, that I would not date them because they had that. One thing for me that Rona brought out was creativity.
Okay.
It boosted people creativity. Like Miss Hopkins was saying earlier, is that for us pulling up to the window or sitting in the driveway, social distance with your mask on. You have to get creative, but I would not want to have someone as a partner because they had pre-existing
Okay.
that went in.
All right. Okay, good. We got about two more questions for you. And this one here, forget about the sanctuary now. Just keep it real. um, would it be easier just to hook up with an ex for the simple fact that you know them, you know, well, you wouldn't know what they have, but you know them. And you're probably familiar with where their activity
That's why they're
is.
eggs. That's why they're eggs because you know them.
So Rachel, I guess that's a no,
A strong no.
And stuff gonna get real deep here in the next couple of weeks, Rachel.
Stuff been real deep. As a single person, you just have to learn to pull from all areas for as your accountability partner, developing your self-control, reading, getting involved in whatever you got going on. You have to start pulling from all different Buddha. No.
Okay. Get Mary Kay.
And don't think you can pray away. Don't think you can pray away part in this because you can't pray it away. You just have to learn to pull from all different areas.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you for being so honest with that question. Okay, thank you for being transparent because that is, you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
People think that women don't experience this or that it's only men and all this and that and the third. No, I am Black. I am beautiful. I am young. I know what I bring.
Ain't that wrong with me?
No, and you are gorgeous. I know you bring a lot to the table, Rachel. And so
thank you.
You absolutely. And so when you know that about yourself, when you catch that Cardi B, look past the mirror, and you're like, oh my God, it happened. That is accurate. And so you do have to pull from all of your resources, hanging out with your friends, calling your family, calling your friends,
Go see the nephews and
absolutely.
Yeah.
I imagine the gun range release a whole lot of stuff, don't
it?
Yeah. All right, help us out, Nico. Let's bring that male perspective in here.
Yeah.
First of all, I think it's hilarious, and that makes so much more sense why women are a lot more, I guess, composed in that area. Because they talking about all these resources that they pulling from. Most guys, we don't pull from no resources. You call your boy and you already know what your boy gonna say.
Right.
So that is very, very interesting. But as far as the X thing, I guess maybe I may operate a little bit different than some other people. But if you're an ex, you're pretty much an ex for a reason. I move forward, I look forward, and I look up, man, never down or back. So, if I move forward, it was for a good reason. And then, like Rachel said, it's more so about, I think, kind of focusing on redirecting the energy, redirecting to someone else, because, and it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. Once you start thinking with the southern regions of your body, it's bad decisions can be made, man. So.
Right. Okay, good stuff. All right. One more here. What have you learned about yourself in this social distancing or lockdowns like California is doing right now, and we probably end up doing here eventually, next month probably. Um, well, this year, what have you learned about yourself, Miss Juanita?
I learned the value of enjoying your own company.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned that my walk with God is just that, my walk. And I can't look to the left or look to the right or look at how somebody else's life is going during this pandemic. I just really have to focus on Christ
Right,
and the virtues he's eliciting out of me.
right.
I have learned that I've fallen back in love with reading. I'm an English teacher. I teach college English, and I love reading. And I didn't do it so much when this whole thing first began. And now I'm getting through like 2-3 books in a week, and I love it so much because
Right.
I am a giant nerd, and I know it. And hey, that's just me. But I think those are the 3 things that I've really kind of honed in on. Just
Mhm.
enjoying myself, enjoying my company, building a better relationship with God, and praying more, and just reading all types of different stuff.
Right.
And getting through the 3 stacks I got in my living room.
I tell people all the time, I don't believe God sent
That's
this
right.
pandemic, but I certainly believe that He allowed it for the purpose of us being able to do all the things you just mentioned, and being able to discover who we are in Him, and to instead of within these 4 walls where we don't really do that. I think He got more sick and tired of it and allowed them to close down for that purpose. Let's go up to Rachel. Rachel, what have you learned about yourself?
What I learned about myself is that my imagination is magical. That's what I learned about me, and I love my creativity. And what self discovery is a major for me because I do need some work, and once you work on one piece, you discover it's another piece and another piece. So it's you forever ever working on yourself. And so what I do love is how I grew within this pandemic, and the way that I grew is just knowing who Rachel is. Just discovering who I am and what I bring to the table, and that's what I love. That's why I love that. Discovering who I was and
Okay.
what I bring to the table and my value, and that I don't have to settle, and that I enjoy my own company.
Rachel, I always told you that about yourself.
Listen at this, y'all. Listen at this. Go ahead.
It took all this to confirm what I've been telling you all of your life about, well, not all your life, but 15,
Y'all,
20.
I haven't talked to this man in years. Years.
I had put it out there before there. All right. So, Nick, what you learn about yourself?
I learned from one that I really don't like working for other people. Yeah, I really just don't. It just doesn't, and there's a reason why it's never really worked out for me in that sense, because I just don't. Um, I learned also that I guess more so realize and learn that I pretty much have every tool that I need. I have everything that I need to be successful on my own, be successful in pretty much any endeavor that I decide to delve into. Is just about just applying myself. I learned also that the excuse that I don't really have time, or don't have as much time, is typically bullshit. I mean, excuse my language, but
Now,
it's,
you did.
it's typically BS. It's about really time management is the problem. It's not necessarily that I don't have time, and just I talk to a lot of people in general, and we kind of, we're a lot alike. Like people in general, we're a lot alike as much as we try to, poke at
Yeah.
our differences. we're a lot alike, and I think time management is most people's issue when they say they don't have time. So that is a big thing that I learned, and yeah, that there are a lot of things that we take for granted on the daily that you should be a lot more thankful for, even down to just the ability to go out normally, and not have to be concerned or not have to be worried. Um, you always complain about the news. We used to complain about the news being the way it was, but now it's like even worse with you can't turn on any news without COVID this, COVID that, COVID, just deaths, and it's just crazy. So I think we take a lot of things we kind of took for granted that I realized I definitely took for granted. Spending time with each other, spending time with people, it's become 10 times more important than it was before, so.
Okay. All right, good stuff, man. And we'll let you guys out of here on this last question. Have you made goal setting adjustments or any goals that you may have had? Have you made any adjustments? And Nico, would you respond to that one first?
Yeah, for me personally, it hasn't been so much about, I guess, making the goals as it is like sticking to them. I'm a big, I got big visions, man. I'm a big visionary. Like Rachel was saying, I have a big imagination. So sometimes you can get lost in that. You get lost in the big vision and the starry-eyed dream of it, and forget about the goal setting process. The milestones, the individual, milestones that it takes to get there, the steps that it takes to get there. So, yeah, me personally, I've taken the smaller steps more seriously. Like you just don't get there. Nobody gets there in one big leap, but it looks like that from the outside looking in, perception, especially with social media, because nobody really they don't really show their losses. Everybody just kind of shows where they're winning and when they're in the limelight. So you feel like you have to make this huge leap, and you forget that it's a process. Step by step is how you get there. So
Okay. All right, Rachel.
Nico stole my answer.
Well, I knew I still yours. If I stole what I needed, she might shoot me. So I figured.
Play it safe, baby. Play it safe.
I was going to say something, but then I might just give it all away. So I won't shoot you, Nico. I promise you.
Thank you so much.
But just to piggyback off of what Nico was saying was when I was talking about my imagination, how you do see the big picture and you do get lost, but you got to know how important those small steps are. So that's how I had to make my adjustments, is just to do the small steps that'll lead to the bigger picture. And so my adjustment is because I start neglecting myself in the process, because I gotta make it happen. Yeah. So I had to make some adjustment and say, okay, now Rachel, you need to be at your best health. So it's gonna take you being in good health to get there. So I had to make some adjustment with that.
Okay. All right, Wendy.
Nico did not steal my answer. I'm sorry, Richard. I'm sorry he did that to you.
Thank you.
No,
I'll take care of that later on. No, I'm joking. But I have learned to include giving myself grace as a goal. I don't think it's so much that I've changed or adjusted the goal itself, but I think it's about extending grace to ourselves. If you got up out of bed and you washed your body, your face, you brushed your teeth, you fed yourself, you walked your dog, if you didn't do nothing else during COVID-19, you won. And I don't consider that the bare minimum, because everyone is an individual. We don't know the demons that people are facing. We don't know the things that people are going through. And so when you extend yourself grace, you're able to be gracious to others. And I think that's the major goal thing with me. You know,
Wow.
I always have a full plate. I'm always doing something. And I'm okay with just being great at a few things instead of trying to be great at everything right now at this moment. Because there are over 300,000 people who are not here this December that may have been here last December. So I think just having a better perspective, adding reflection to my goals, and of course, giving myself grace through all of this and not focusing on what other people have going on, just staying in my lane and flourishing from there.
Okay. Good, good. Well, man, y'all have been a very intelligent, entertaining group, and hope that you guys come back sometime in the future when
Oh yeah.
we talk beyond the pandemic and we just talk about being single. So, but what I want to ask you to do, if you would share your individual platforms, if you have an individual platform, I hadn't talked to you, Juanita, about this, but if you had a platform or something that you're doing, would you want to share that with the audience before we leave?
Absolutely. As I said, I am the vice president of the Urban League of the Upstate Young Professionals. Um, we are a group of people between 21 and 40. And what we do is we serve the upstate community, whether that's Anderson, Spartanburg, Greenville. So if you know anybody between that age range, please, send them over to us. We have a Facebook page, ULUYP. It's on IG, and we haven't started our Twitter yet, but we're going to get that soon.
What is the Facebook page?
It is ULUYP, Urban League of the Upstate Young Professionals. And you can find us on Instagram. I think that's what's really being pumped right now, our IG page. We do a lot of community involvement. We were at Long Branch Church for Thanksgiving, helping with making the meals for about 3,000 people.
Wow.
We did a Black Santa event. There's a lot of marketing. I think that would be great for you, Nico. Just to kind of get around like-minded people. There's people who want to do stocks, real estate, marketing. We've got our law folks, we've got our doctors, and we're really just trying to pull together wonderful people in the community so that we can continue to help our affiliate, Urban League of the Upstate, and, have mentorship, professional and personal development, and, have a platform like, similar to what this is, to really get the community involved.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. Nico, what you got going on?
Yeah. So like I said, I started a marketing company. It's still fairly new, so I don't have a website up and running just yet. But you can find me on Facebook, John Nico Nichols on Facebook. I'm on Instagram a good bit too, _planet_Nico. Very, very simple. And reach out to me. We can talk about marketing, personal training, PT. You want to learn a little martial arts, how to defend yourself, self-defense, just trying to get in general shape. Kind of a one-stop shop when it comes to, the networking. I have a very, very vast network. So.
Okay, that sounds like something Juanita may take up. But remember that.
Yeah, gloves up, guns down.
Yeah. Ms. Rachel, I do have your logo, and if you can tell us about your businesses.
Yes, it is Her Blackness, and we do have a website, and it's www.herblackness.com. And Her Blackness is a vision that God gave me to celebrate the Black women in the Anson County area. But we also have a Her Blackness Facebook page, and on that Facebook page, we uplift and encourage all Black women. So if you have a story that you want to share to the world, Her Blackness would love to be that vehicle that you use.
Okay. All right. Again, thank you guys so much, and I'm sure tonight's views and going farther into the weeks that's coming, that people will be able to benefit from your experience and knowledge of living single here in this pandemic. So again, you guys have a blessed night. Thank you so much for being with me, and we'll be in contact. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Don't
you
hurt
for that.
nobody out there. Don't hurt nobody, Miss
I'm in the
Juanita.
house. I'm in the house.
Okay. All righty. All right, Miss Rachel. We'll see y'all. Thank you. All right. So that wraps up our 26th episode. And there was a couple of things I wanted to share with you. Our host, not our host, but Paralico Management. She gets in contact with our panelists. She does a lot. She does a lot. And so if you have a business that you want some help with, Natasha Grisham will be able to help you. She helps me, and I've been so glad that there's a running joke that we have that I no longer have to give her money without her doing some work for me. So she is passionate about what she does, and she'll be passionate about your job or your company. And if you would consider to give into Goodman Creek Baptist Church, that we can continue to bring good content to you and to your family and friends. We appreciate you either mailing in, or you can use PayPal. That's $ Goodman Creek, $Goodman Creek. And we pray that as we go through the continuation of the winter, we want to get in another feeding, giving grocery giveaways, and need some roof repair so I can continue the studio here, of course, and some other things that we want to be able to do on your behalf as partners. So if you would consider giving to God through this ministry. And tomorrow at 10 p.m., we'll have a quick snippet of devotional moment and prayer at 10 p.m. It's called Good Night God, and its purpose is to help us lay down some burdens that we've had through the day of Wednesday, and since it's Hump Week in the middle of the week, that we can have a rest of peace instead of hearing all this bad news. So Minister Felder was give us a real quick snippet of a devotional and scripture, and then she would pray for us, and that will be it. Just about 10 to 15 minutes of your time. And so, with that said, you guys have a blessed night. On Thursday, I won't be here, but I do have a young man coming in to continue our teaching on lesson number 6. It is lesson number 6, and it is going to be dealing with why Christ is all we need, why Jesus is all we need. And you heard it on the broadcast tonight that Jesus was Juanita's boyfriend, or that's all she needed. But there's a teaching about how we can become more of God, what God wants us to be, or all that God wants us to be. And we can do that by learning how to make him our essential need. And so Daniel McCullen from Florence, South Carolina, will be standing in my stead, and he will bring you the word. And if you would, go ahead and you can get a reminder. If you're on our page, you can get a reminder, and you'll show up in your notification. And if you haven't followed us, please follow us. That way you'll get notifications whenever we come on live. So, all right. So stay warm, and God bless you real good. Thank you again for tuning in tonight. And this has been the 26th episode of Power to the People. God bless you, and we'll see you on next week.